Okay. These are going to be all of your grammar points for the entire semester. So first one is why don't you, which is tara do desu ka? Tara do desu ka? It's more direct than should/shouldn't, because should is tahogai, shouldn't is taihogai, naihogai. So tahogai is should, shouldn't is taihogai. So why don't you is tara do desu ka? So if one of the things is like, create like a question that says why don't you, an example would be why don't you study more, which is motsu yo benkyou shitara do desu ka? I'm going to say that one more time. Motsu yo benkyou shitara do desu ka? Alright? That is that one. Do desu ka? Tara do desu ka is why don't you. The next one is I hope for someone else, which is toi desne or toine. That's casual form. So toi desne is polite. So if it says write a sentence in polite form for I hope for someone else, you can write I hope you find a good part-time job, which is I arubaito ga mitsukara to I desne. I'll say that one more time. So two I's, I arubaito ga mitsukaru to I desne. For casual, you can say I hope it doesn't rain, which is ame ga fura nai toine. Ame ga furanai toine. Ame ga furanai toine. Moving on to I hope for myself, which is in desu ga. In desu ga or in da geto. So in da geto. So in desu ga, they say I hope for myself. If you need to create a sentence, an example you can use is I hope the exam is easy, which is shiken ga yasashi, she with, shii, she, toin desu ga. Let me say it one more time. Shiken ga yasashi toin in desu ga. Alright. Next is going to be toki, which is sentence A plus toki plus sentence B. That's going to be that one, which is the main event which can be in dictionary form. So sentence A can be in past or present. How to decide is if A is at the current time of B or yet to happen, that means the first part of it for A is going to be in present. Here are some examples of that. When it says, so she's asking for an example, you could say, when my friend is sad, I buy them a sweet dessert, which is tomodachi ga kanashii toki amai dessert o katta agemasu. Let me say that one more time. Tomodachi ga kanashii toki amai dessert o katta agemasu. Tomodachi ga kanashii toki amai dessert o katta agemasu. Another example could be when I go to sleep, I listen to music, which is neru toki ongaku o kiku. neru toki ongaku o kiku. If A has already happened by the time of B, that means it's going to be past for A. So if she asks for an example, you could say, when I go to Japan, I will buy manga, which is Nihongo ita Nihongo ita toki manga o kau. Nihongo ita toki manga o kau. And of course, there's going to be vocabulary in a different video, so you can change all of that, but that's like the basic structure. Next one is going to be I'm sorry for doing, which is tesumimasen deshita. Tesumimasen deshita. Okay? Which is I am sorry for doing. Some notes. E-verbs is, so if it ends with the I thing, that's going to conjugate to shite. Na adjectives or nouns or whatever, na, you're going to drop the na, that's going to go to de. Okay? So, to say I'm sorry for, so to do casual way for I'm sorry for blank blank blank, to a friend, which is te gomen, you can say I'm sorry for lying, which is in the casual form, which is oso o sukute gomen. Okay? I'm sorry for lying. Casual form. Uso o sukute gomen. Now we're going to do the polite form. So if she's asking for sensei, you can say I'm sorry for skipping class, which is ju kyou o sabote, so there's two little t's there, little mini tsu, sabote sumimasen deshita. Let me see that one more time. Ju gyou o sabote sumimasen deshita. Going on to I am sorry for not doing, which is nakute sumimasen deshita. Nakute sumimasen deshita. So to say in the casual form, which would be nakute gomen, so to a friend, an example would be I'm sorry I'm late, which is osoku natte gomen. Osoku natte, there's a little tsu between gomen. For a polite version to sensei, which could be I'm sorry for not bringing the homework, you could say shukudai o motte kona kuna de sumimasen deshita. Let me say it one more time. Shukudai o motte kona kuna de sumimasen deshita. I'm going to give you a moment to write that down for a second. Alright, the next one is going to be the will you do grammar, so like making requests. So, to a friend, which is casual, really casual for will you do grammar, that's going to be kurenai. So if it asks for an example for a friend, you can say, will you help me clean, which is soji o detsu date kurenai. Say it one more time. Souji o detsu date, there's a little tsu in between, date kurenai. To your host family, which is kuremasen ka. This is asking, will you help me cook onigiri? Will you teach me how to cook onigiri? It's going to be onigiri o ryori te kuremasen ka. onigiri o ryori te kuremasen ka? Okay. Now for sensei, which is ultimate polite, which is will you teach me vocabulary? You're gonna say tango o oshi e teita da ke masen ka? So we're gonna say that one more time. Tango o oshi e teita da ke masen ka? Teita da ke masen ka is like the ultimate form of it. It's like the regular form of it. So I'm gonna say it one more time. Tango o oshie teita da ke masen ka? Alright. Going on to potential verbs. So potential verbs, the ru verb, if it ends in ru, drop the final ru and add rareru. So an example would be miru, it would turn into mirareru. For u verbs, drop the final u and add eru. So iku would go to eru. Just a little note. Next one is going to be kara, which is because. So it's always going to be like, if you want to say, I like my Japanese class because it's interesting, you're always going to say that second part, because it's interesting, I like my Japanese class. So be, which is the second sentence after the because, is going to be first. Kara, the first part of the sentence, A in English. So if you want to say, I like my Japanese class because it's interesting, you're going to say, Nihongo wa o mo shi roi omoshiroi. Oh wait, watashi, wait, hold on. Forgive me. Okay, taking just a second. Nihongo wa omoshiroi kara. Nihongo wa omoshiroi kara. Nihongo Nihongo no Jukyou ga tai desu ski desu. Tai ski desu. I'm gonna repeat that one more time. I like my Japanese class because it's interesting. You're gonna say Nihongo wa omoshiroi kara. Nihongo no Jugyou ga tai ski desu. Tai ski desu. Da tai ski desu. That's just an example to use kara. That's how kara is set up. Next is going to be she, which is reason, she, situation. That's just how to set that up. So she's asking about she, like, I need to buy new clothes because my clothes are old and I don't like them. You say, furoi, she, like, naski desu, naski, suki, naisuki, shi, atarashi, fuku ga hoishii desu. Basically, something like that, That's how to say she. Okay, next one is going to be so desu. So des is it looks like. So des is really simple. So she's asking, like, it looks like stuff. You could say this apple looks delicious, which is kono ringo wa oishii so desu. So kono ringo wa oishii so desu. Then you could say Mary looked like she was doing well, which would be Mari-san wa genki so deshita. Mari-san wa genki so deshita. To use a negative version of it, to say, like, it doesn't look, basically, you can say so janai desu. So janai desu is just a negative version of that, and you just stick that at the end. To try something out is temeru. So temeru is to try something out. So if someone is like, create an example between two things like A and B, you could say this book looks interesting, which is kono hon omoshiroi ka katta desu. So katta has a little tsu in between desu, and you can say, okay, I will take a look at it, which is I will try it out. Ja yon te mi mas. So ja yon de mimas, which is basically the correct version to say temiu. Demimas is probably how you're gonna end it if it's asking for that situation. Next is nara, which is X noun, nara Y predicate. Predicate. So it's basically like in contrast as in situation 1 and limitation as in situation 2. So it's like, so an example between two people could be, have you been to Japan, which is Nihon ni itta koto ga arimasen ka? But you can say, I've been to Korea, but never been to Japan. You could write down, Kankoku nara ikoto ka arimasen. Nihongo wa ikoko to ga arimasen. I'm gonna say that one more time. Kankoku nara ikoto ka arimasen. Nihongo wa ikoko to ga arimasen. And that's how you use contrast and limitations. You just add kata. Basically, you add the place or whatever, like, so like Korea kata, like it's like one thing after. So you like watashi kara, something like stuff like that, basically. Next one is going to be period frequency, which is ijokan ni sankai. Ijokan ni sankai, which is period, ni frequency, which is frequency per period. So a couple of things. So if she's asking for, situations where you use that, it could be how many times do you study Japanese in a week? So it would be itsu ju u kan ni sankai ni nihongo o benkyou shimasu ka? So I'll say it one more time. So it's ichjuo ju u ichjukan ni sankai nihongo o benkyou shimasu ka? Then you can say, I study 3 times a week, which is itsu jukan ni sankai nihongo o benkyou shimasu. It's probably going to ask for as many as, or like only. So as many as is mo. So to say I have as many as 5 friends, you say watashi tomodachi ga gogo nin mo iru. So watashi wa tomodachi ga gogo nin mo iru. For shika, which is shika plus negative ending, which is only. So if you want to say I only study 2 hours, you would say watashi ni jikan shika benkyoumasen. So watashi ni jikan shika benkyoumasen. Next is going to be like the maybe grammar. So the maybe grammar is the short form plus kamoshi remasen. Kamoshi remasen. So some notes. Da is dropped when it comes to na adjectives. Just a heads up. So if she's asking, like, so if something, you basically do the entire sentence and end it with kamoshiremasen. So if it's saying, like, it may rain tomorrow, you can say atarashi wa ame ga iru kamoshiremasen. Let's say that one more time. Ashita wa ame ga iru kamoshiremasen. That's that one. Okay, moving on to ageru, kureru, and moraru. So ageru is giving to others versus and others giving to others. So to write it, it would be giver wa slash ga, recipient ni, ageru, agemasu, agemashita. Kureru is someone gives me, so be giver wa slash ga, recipient ni, kureru, kuremasu, kuremashita. Then moraru is I received, which is recipient wa slash ga, giver ni, moraru, moremasu, moremashita. Now for the te ageru, te kureru, and te morau. So the te form plus ageru is when somebody is doing something for somebody else politely. So te ageru, so an example would be Nanami took Yasmin shopping for new clothes. It'd be Nanami wa Yasmin-san, Nanami-san wa Yasmin-san o atarashii fuku o kai ni ite agete. Say it one more time. Nanami-san wa Yasmin-san o atarashii fuku o kai ni ite ageta. Now for te form plus kureru is when somebody does something for us without us having to ask for it. So you could say a friend helped me with my homework. It'd be tomodachi ga shukutai o tetsu da te kuremasu. Say it one more time. Tomodachi ga shukudai o tetsu ta te. So tetsu da te. So there's gonna be a little tsu between the da and the te. Tetsu da te kuremasu. For te form, which is plus morao, is when we get somebody to do something for us. So if we want to get something to do something for us, and you have to write something like what you asked of them, basically, you could say, I got my friend to drive me to the beach, which is watashi wa tomodachi ni umi o unden shite moratta. Say one more time. Watashi wa tomodachi ni umi o unden shite moratta. Next one is relational form plus totemasu. So we use relational form plus totemasu to talk about resolutions. So it's like I have decided to do something. Like I have decided something, or I will decide to do something. So if we want to say I have decided to, or I'm going to study Japanese for 3 hours a day, you would say Mainichi-san kan Nihongo o benkyou shiyou tomoteimasu. Say it one more time. Mainichi-san kan Nihongo o benkyou shiyou tomoteimasu. The mo and the te have a little tsu in between them. Tomoteimasu is made on the spot. So tomoimasu is made on the spot. Tomoteimasu is already made. So tomoimasu is made on the spot. Toteimasu is already made. Just have 2 more left. It's gonna be great. Next one is going to be te aku, so to do something in preparation. So an example could be, I have to clean my room because my friends are coming. You could say, tomodachi ga kuru kara heya o soji shite akena kiai kemasen. I'm gonna say it one more time. Tomodachi ga kuru kara heya o soji shite okana kiai ken kemasen. Next one could be, since there is exam tomorrow, I will study for it tonight, which is ashita shiken ga aru node konban benkyou shite okimasu. I'm going to say it one more time. Ashita shiken ga aru node konban benkyou shite okimasu. The last one is going to be using sentences as qualified nouns. So a qualifying sentence is just, plus noun is just a combination of one big phrase. So an example would be, this is a book my girlfriend gave me on my birthday last year. That would be, kore wa kyonen no tanjobi. Yeah. I'm in somewhere. Okay, hold on. Kore wa kyonen no tanjobi ni kanojo ga kureta hon desu. So it could be like kore wa hon desu, which is like, this is a book, but this is a book my girlfriend gave me on my birthday last year. Kore wa kyonen no tanjobi ni kanojo ga kureta hon desu. Alright, that's it.